I got something to show you. My Volcanic pistol.
That's really, really cool. It's amazing this came in the shop here. It's hard to find these things.
Yep. I came down to the pawn shop to sell a Volcanic pistol. I'm a big collector of firearms. I'd like to sell it because I have 2 boys in college and we sure could use the money. I would like to try to get about 10,000 because I feel it's worth between 10 and 12,000.
This is a Volcanic Arms. What the hell is that? The forerunner of the Winchester rifle. This was the first lever-action gun. It was built by Horace Smith and Daniel Wesson. 1850s is when they started making these, I believe. An 8-shot pistol was pretty damn impressive. You cocked it like a lever-action rifle. It's throw out the old shell, load the new shell. The person that invented the Winchester rifle saw this. Next thing you know, Winchester buys the patent and builds the most popular rifle of the time. They used to say the Winchester rifle was the gun that won the West.
It all started there.
Volcanic Arms was started by 2 guys, Daniel Wesson and Horace Smith. Later, they formed Smith & Wesson. They made a lot of innovations, and that's why they're still in business today. So where did you get it?
I was at the Tulsa, Oklahoma show. I seen this guy walking in the aisle with that. I said, man, I gotta have that. I made him an offer and I walked home with it.
Okay, that happens at gun shows all the time. Now, the reason it's so collectible is just due to the fact that they didn't make a lot of them.
The nice thing about this firearm here is it's never been touched. It has all the original patina on it. You know, it hasn't been polished down to the brass, so it's like an original find.
I mean, this is in really nice shape. I'm actually really familiar with this gun, so I don't need to consult an expert. As long as the price is anywhere near reasonable, I'm buying.
So you guys interested in purchasing it?
Oh, yes, I'm definitely interested in purchasing it, as long as you don't have insane prices in your head.
I'd like to get maybe 10,000.
How about 5 grand? It's not a quick seller.
How about 8 grand? I think it's a piece that if you have here, I think it's actually gonna bring people in.
I'm thinking I'm probably gonna get around 8 grand for it. I'll give you 6,500 bucks for it. Prices on just about every collectible has gone down.
How about 7,500?
6,500 bucks, I think, is more than fair.
Well, I got 2 kids in college, so I think I'll do that deal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good deal, man. All right, you want to write them up, son?
I'm feeling pretty good about the 6,500. You know, if I would have put the gun in auction, I would have waited another 3 months. So I think we did actually pretty well.
What do you got?
Got a book here from 1791, it's first acts of Congress, signed by a gentleman by the name of James Smith, one of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence.
Okay. So how did you get this?
Property cleanup. I found it in the back of a 1956 Plymouth.
It was just a repossessed house or something like that?
Yep.
I'm telling you, that's some of the best places you find stuff.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today because I have a book from 1791, it's first acts of Congress. I want to sell it because it needs to be rescued and given to someone that will take care of it. I'm not sure how much it's worth. I would like $2,500 for it, and hopefully we can make a deal.
You know what the acts of Congress was, right?
Yeah.
It was like the original laws of the United States.
The very first.
They had to set up everything. I mean, like, here we go. What the privates in the Army should wear. Rates of coins for receiving duties and fees. If wounded or disabled, what compensation. People assume that when the Revolutionary War ended in 1783, that George Washington was immediately elected president. It actually took another 6 years to ratify the Constitution and form a government. The first U.S. Congress finally met in 1789, and this book is a record of that event. I'm imagining the book is pretty rare.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a lot of work printing this book. It's really well done, too. This is hand-laid paper. It's just, God, it is in rough shape.
It is.
It's in bad shape, but for 200 years old, it's not that bad. If we can get that authenticated, make that book worth a little bit of money.
Okay, well, the big problem we have here, there's a million James Smiths.
Exactly.
You know, it's probably the most common name there is. James Smith was one of Pennsylvania's representatives to the Continental Congress, and he's forever etched in American history as one of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. If it's his signature, this thing could be worth a fortune. The book itself might be worth some money. I need some more people to look at this thing. How long are you in town?
Till tomorrow.
If I can get someone later today, I will. Otherwise, we're gonna have to figure something out. That's all I can tell you.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Well, thank you.
This book is an unbelievable record of our early government. It's clearly authentic, but I have no idea how rare it is or what it's worth.
Well, this is the book I call John.
Okay, I'm Ann DeVere. I own Plaza Books. I've been collecting books most of my life, and I've always been very passionate about books. This was printed in 1793 in Philadelphia by Oswald. It was originally published in 3 volumes. This is volume 1 of 3 volumes. It's an exciting book because this was the very first Congress. It's when George Washington was president.
Do you know how many copies this thing was published?
Not too many copies were published, probably 1 for each member of Congress. It is an important book. It's a book that probably should be in a museum somewhere.
He's got this signature on the front that I know nothing about.
I can't address the signature on the front. It would take a person who's expert in signatures to tell you more about that.
Okay. What is something like this worth?
While the condition of this book is less than very good, the front cover is detached, there's foxing to the pages, and there's some staining of the page edges. It's a very important historical document. I would say probably in the range of be in the $2,500 to $3,500 range. More if this signature were confirmed to be of someone of importance. It could raise the value of the book tremendously.
All right, Ann, you're the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you. That's good news.
Yeah, I'm gonna have someone come in later today that can tell us about the signature.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll talk price.
All right, perfect.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks.
If the signature is James Smith, then I'm gonna be really happy because that'll make it worth a lot more money and, then hopefully we can make a deal.
How are you? I'm Drew with Authentic Autographs Unlimited. I'm a forensic document examiner. What do we have today?
We have a book with the first acts of Congress printed in 1793,
Okay.
and he's saying he thinks this might be James Smith.
Oh, the James Smith. Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, James Smith may not be one of the most well-known of all the original signers, but it doesn't matter. If you're one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, you're definitely all that. See what we have.
I mean, it looks old.
It's very old. See, this would have to be done with a quill pen. I mean, they didn't have steel pens yet.
Incredible.
So this is actually done by a bird's feather. And they, of course, dip it into the well. As you can see, that's how it's going from darker to lighter. That's because, the ink gets thicker at first, and then, of course, it loses ink as it goes. So,
Okay.
So it's definitely an old signature, that's for sure. It's written at high speed. You can see the highly detailed. Clearly, it's got a certain sophistication to it. It's an interesting signature. Well, unfortunately, this is not the James Smith signature. This is a different individual.
Man. It's not what I wanted to hear.
So whose signature is it?
It looks like a James Stennett, and I don't recognize that name, unfortunately. This is probably the person who owned the book. In those days, they would sign books all the time, and then they would leave it, for their children, and that's probably what this situation is.
Okay.
Not a famous person.
Thanks for coming in, Drew.
Thank you, Rick.
Appreciate it.
I'm disappointed it wasn't signed by James Smith, but I'm absolutely stunned that the name isn't even Smith. Talk about a hard signature to read. That's why I bring in experts.
You didn't strike out. I mean, we still have an expensive book here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $1,000 for it.
Well,
If you want to sell it, guy, we pay $100 bills.
$100 bills.
Yep.
That's enticing. No, I don't need the money that bad.
Okay. I'm gonna take $1,500 for it. I mean, it's a fair offer.
Well, I think I'm gonna hang on to it. It's just cool to own something from the 1700s, and maybe someday it'll be worth a lot more money than what it is now.
This is something the value will go up on.
I'm not gonna sell the book for $1,500. It is something from the 1700s, and it has to do with the foundation of the country. That's worth more to me than $1,500.
This is an 1838 Colt Paterson pistol.
Who are you, Pistol Pete?
I am not Pistol Pete. That sucks. I'm a military and gun collector. I swap, buy, trade a lot of different guns. This was the first gun built by Samuel Colt. I'd like to get $15,000 for this gun. If pressed, I could probably go as low as $12,000.
So what's so special about this gun?
Before this gun, the only real reliable guns out there were the single shot cap and balls. This was the first successful repeating gun.
Yeah, this was the very first one that used a rotating cylinder for a single barrel. The cool thing about this particular piece is that this gun belonged to William R. Manning, who was a Civil War colonel. It's got William R. Manning's name engraved on it, on the grip there. Buffalo Bill got this gun from him at some point, returned it to his daughter, May Manning Lilly, and her husband, who was Pawnee Bill.
Forgive me, I don't know who Manning is. I know who Peyton Manning is and Eli Manning. That's about it.
They have to be direct descendants. I mean, I'm certain.
I don't know who this Manning is, but Pawnee Bill was a Western showman that did work with Buffalo Bill. We're talking about some of the most iconic figures in the Wild West. If it checks out, we got a major find here.
I think it's easily worth every penny of $15,000 in this condition with this story.
You know, it very well could be, my man. It all goes down to condition and serial numbers. And after all that, I mean, I have to be pretty cautious because last one of these I had come in was actually fake. Mind if I have a buddy of mine come down and check it out? Because, like I said, I can't give you a price on it.
He's not one of those college pukes, is he?
I'm sure he is. He's got that college boy look about him.
No, that would be great. I hope this college puke that they're bringing in doesn't tell me this gun is fake. I'll be quite disappointed.
Well, here we go, man. Colt Paterson pistol with some Buffalo Bill stuff attached to it.
Wow.
It's a nice piece.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the gun that started it all. This was the very first percussion revolver.
Right.
Colt charted new territory with the development of the Colt Paterson. They made about 1,000, and I would guess there are probably 100 left. They're very, very rare and very, very valuable. What's the story with Buffalo Bill?
This gun originally belonged to a William R. Manning,
Okay.
who was a colonel with the 50th Artillery Regiment from Georgia during the Civil War.
He was a Confederate.
He was a Confederate.
Okay.
Buffalo Bill got this gun from him at some point, returned it to his daughter, May Manning Lilly, and her husband, who was Pawnee Bill. It's pretty much laid out here.
Buffalo Bill is a big name in history, and if you've got a gun that can be even tangentially related to him, you're talking a lot of money. The box, I have no doubt, was sold by this family, and I have no doubt there was a gun in it. The question is, was this the gun in the box?
I see.
It does look like old engraving. Another thing you have to look at is the type style. Is this a modern font or is it an antique font?
Okay.
The engraving does look old, so I'll give you that. Okay, Corey, what are your concerns?
Had fake ones come in before.
You've had fake Colt Patersons
Yes.
come in. Okay, yeah, there are fake Colt Patersons.
Once you add the whole Buffalo Bill thing to it, I just at a complete loss of what to even offer the guy.
There's a characteristic to the Colt Paterson. The barrel is, okay, the barrel's 7.5 inches long.
Were they standard at 7.5 inches now?
They made them 7.5 inches and they made them 9 inches. This is a standard barrel length, which is good. Now, we talked about this being an early gun. Let's look at the serial number. Serial number will appear usually in 2 places, and they're sort of hard to find places. Pull the barrel off for me. I don't want to be the one that breaks this thing after, there you go. Okay. Yeah, the first serial number is going to be right there. You got it there, and let's see what it says. And the serial number is 2.
Whoa, 2.
Is that good?
Well, let me put it this way. What's the most expensive pistol ever sold in America?
I don't know.
Colt Paterson, $1 million. Great condition. I mean, it looked brand new. If this gun is serial number 2, it's the second Colt ever made. Do you know what this gun is worth regardless of its condition if this is number 2? This is a really big deal.
Okay.
I mean, it's a really big deal. Let's look around for more serial numbers. There's usually one under the grip. And the number is bigger than 2.
How much bigger than 2?
936 numbers bigger than 2.
Oh, man.
Don't be disappointed. This is still a rare gun. Very shortly after this gun was made, Colt went bankrupt.
Yes.
One of the things that one of Colt's partners did was that he decided to recover his investment by sort of taking inventory and selling it. And what he did is he continued to assemble and sell Colt Patersons.
Okay.
And my opinion is that's one of these.
Okay, Colt went out of business.
Yes.
His partner grabbed all the boxes of inventory off the shelves and just started matching guns and putting them together.
Stuffing things together.
Basically, yeah. This doesn't become an undesirable gun. It just means it's got mismatched serial numbers.
Okay. That being said, what's it worth now?
Okay. The condition of the gun is what I would say is maybe poor plus, but there are probably about 150 to 200 Colt Patersons that even still remain. And that you have a story which I tend to believe. In other words, the totality of the package here to me says that the story's probably true.
Okay.
So that he was a colonel in the Confederate Army, that's a big deal. Buffalo Bill connection, big deal. With everything I've seen, positives, negatives, I'm probably gonna say 25.
100?
1,000.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
May I ask what you're asking?
More than I was when I brought it in.
I'll just say, not knowing that number, pay the money.
Okay.
Pay the money. You're not gonna get another chance.
Appreciate it, man.
Take care. Well, it's not number 2, but it's still a Colt Paterson. There were less than 1,000 of these guns made, and that means something. It means that it's a very rare gun.
Well, you heard what he had to say. What do you want for the gun?
I was asking 15. How about 19?
I'm thinking more in the 12 range.
Oh, God. Let's see, I bring in a gun and you want to rob me? 12 is way too low.
Give me another number. I'm not paying 19 for the gun.
Okay, how about 17?
How about we go back to what you originally wanted for it, and I'll give you 15.
15, huh? Oh, geez. Yeah, I can do 15.
Generally,
Thank you.
we'll write you up.
I'm walking out of here with $15,000 green, and I'm gonna use it for my collection to get something I really want.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, good. I think I got a couple things here you might want to look at. We got a couple of teeth here that belong to tyrannosaurs.
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Not T-Rex. These are an odd species called Daspletosaurus from the Judith River Formation of Montana.
Okay.
Did I just hear Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Well, you heard Tyrannosaurus Rex, but these are not T-Rex teeth.
No,
They're
sir.
Tyrannosaurus teeth.
I know Tyrannosaurus teeth are really, really rare.
Yes, yeah, they are.
They're rarer than hen's teeth.
Today I'm looking to sell some crazy rare tyrannosaur teeth that are over 74 million years old. My wife and I found these 2 teeth about 6 months ago during the dig season. They're from the northern region of Montana in what's called the Judith River Formation. The big tooth is just shy of 4 inches in length, hands down the biggest and nicest tooth we've ever found. And the smaller tooth has just had 0 restoration, came out of the ground perfectly intact, and only needed to get cleaned up. If I can sell these 2 teeth today, my wife and I would like to take the money to fund further paleo endeavors. I'm looking to sell these 2 tyrannosaur teeth for $6,000.
I have no idea if they're real, but they're really, really cool.
Well, thank you.
How do you know for a fact these are Tyrannosaurus teeth?
Well, so me and my wife dig for dinosaurs for a living up in Montana.
So you dug these up yourself?
Yes, sir, yep.
How long have you had them for?
We dug these actually this last summer.
Well, I know very little besides from what I saw in Jurassic Park. Both these are from a Tyrannosaurus, but not Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, sir,
How do you tell the difference?
T-Rex is only found in specific formations in Montana and South Dakota and Wyoming. So this is a little bit older, about 10 million years older than where T-Rex comes from.
I'm completely fascinated with them. How much do you want for them?
I'm hoping to get $6,000 for the pair.
Okay. I have no idea if that's a good number or not.
Okay.
And to be perfectly honest, I have no idea if they're actually Tyrannosaurus teeth.
Okay.
For all I know, they could be saber-toothed tiger teeth. I have a friend who does this for a living
Okay,
also.
cool. Okay.
So if you can hang out for a little bit, I'll call my buddy, I'll get him down here, and we'll go from there.
Sure, sounds good. I'm very excited for the expert to come in and hear what he has to say about the teeth. I'm very confident for what they are, and I'd really like to hear their input too.
What do we got?
Well, we have Tyrannosaurus teeth.
Wow.
They're pretty nice. Those are pretty unmistakable. Do you mind if I take a look at them?
Yeah, please, feel free, absolutely.
All right. So what do we know about them?
Oh, they're from the Judith River of Montana.
Wow. You know, it really looks like you've got two different Tyrannosaur species that existed side by side. I think this is Gorgosaur.
Wow.
And this is definitely Daspletosaurus. I mean, this represents the two titans of the time. We're talking huge predators, 35, 40 feet long, monstrous.
So they're 100% real, they haven't been restored, they're not pieced together.
What I would really be looking for is if the tip was replaced, or if a large section of the middle of the tooth has been replaced. But this is as good as they get. Really an amazing find. Good job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, so the big question, what are they worth?
The market for Tyrannosaur teeth has absolutely exploded, and you don't get to see teeth like this very often. So the big tooth is easily worth $10,000.
Wow.
The little one about $3,000.
Okay. Thanks, man, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll see ya.
All right.
See, Rick, I told you I knew what I was doing.
So you still want 6,000?
You know, I know that you guys need to make your money too, and I understand that. So yeah, I'm very comfortable with 6,000.
6,000 it is.
Okay.
Write them up, chum.
All right,
Awesome.
come over here.
Thank you.
Sometimes working with chum is like getting my teeth pulled. What in the world do we have here?
This is a mid-1950s Murray pedal car. Belonged to my grandfather. That looks like a big pile of rust right now, but
Hey, there's a whole lot of something in there.
that doesn't sound good. Yeah. Came down to the pawn shop today to sell my pedal car. I originally thought about keeping the car, maybe looking into getting it restored myself. Unfortunately, when my wife saw the pedal car and in the state that it was in, she wouldn't allow me to bring it into the house.
Believe it or not, it was an atomic missile pedal car. I mean, it was right on the side that said atomic missile. They made them in the 50s and the early 60s, but I'm thinking this one's the 1950s one because I know the handles were red.
Okay.
The thing was, I think moms had a little problem buying an atomic missile for their 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Back in the 1950s, the nuclear-themed toys weren't big sellers, so now they're super rare and really expensive.
There's rust on this thing like I've never seen before. Is it even repairable?
It's repairable. I mean,
Of course,
you can do anything with the right amount of money. I could make this thing go 200 miles an hour with the right amount of money.
It's just, do we want to spend that kind of money on it? I mean,
it's the kind of thing that will sell.
Yeah.
This pedal car is a mess, but I see a lot of value here. If I can pick this up for $1,000 or less, I'll have enough room to fix it up. So what do you want to do with it?
I think I'm looking to sell it.
How much did you want for it?
I was thinking maybe somewhere around $1,500.
$1,500 is a little much. I mean, there's a lot of work that's got to be done here.
But it is intact. I mean, all the, everything's here.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you $500.
Ooh, $500. That's not even close to what I was thinking. Could you maybe go $1,200?
Tell you what, I'll do 8.
I wouldn't pay $5 for this thing. Don't look at me.
I'll tell you what, I'll go $1,000 on it.
Okay, $1,000.
All right, you wanna go write them up?
I guess.
I think my wife's gonna be blown away when I tell her I got $1,000 for this piece of junk metal that she would've been fine if I would've just hauled it straight to the dump.
I have an 1830s percussion pistol. I'm looking to sell it. I'm thinking about getting a more modern firearm for home defense. Coming down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my 1830s percussion pistol. My uncle gave it to me about 10 years ago. I think it could be worth as much as $1,200, but I would take at minimum no less than $400.
It's really neat.
Yeah, I love guns from this era. So what do you know about it?
I don't know too much about it. It's got the word Nook stamped here. It's a manufacturer that I found on the internet back in Philadelphia back in the 1830s.
The Nook, I never really heard of them. You have to realize, 1830s, a lot of gun manufacturers in the United States. The steel was easier to make.
Okay.
The Industrial Revolution made it cheaper to make guns. Improvement in steel and manufacturing made it a lot easier for your average person to carry a pistol like this. A lot of antique pistols I get in here
are made really fancy. They're not really made for personal protection. This one is definitely different. This thing was for personal protection, and it easily fit in your pocket.
And that is a scary thing to look down. It's all in relatively good shape, but there is a lot of wear on it. We got all this on the barrel.
Okay. This gun is cool, but it really worries me. I've never heard of this maker. Normally, I'd bring in my buddy to take a look, but he's out of town right now. So buying this thing would definitely be a gamble.
How much were you looking to get out of it?
I think it's probably worth somewhere around $1,200.
Okay. If it was in better shape, I could see it being worth $1,200. You know, I'll give you $400 for it.
Can't we do a little better? 5?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 4 1/4, and I shouldn't even go that high.
How about 440 and I'll feel like I won?
How about 430 and I'll feel like I won?
How about 435 and we both win?
Okay, sounds like a deal.
Go do the damn paperwork, Rick. Let's get it done.
I'm happy with 435, so hopefully our home defense will be upgraded at the house.